Nope. We know they never linked the attack to a YouTube video. So the State Department's out. The State Department said, they said immediately it was a highly coordinated, unprecedented terrorist attack. There were no protests before the attack. They stated they knew that. But wait a minute. But the official story within 24 hours is that U.S. intelligence agencies have enough evidence to conclude terrorist attack was involved. We got it from the State Department, now from the intelligence communities. So why then on the same day Obama told you this?
Since our founding, the United States has been a nation that respects all faiths. We reject all efforts to denigrate the religious beliefs of others.
Same line. Let's go 2 days down the road, September 14th. Here's Jay Carney denying that there was any actionable intelligence.
We were not aware of any actionable intelligence indicating that an attack on the U.S. mission in Benghazi was planned.
We know
imminent.
This is a lie because we have the ambassador's letter now 2 days before saying, please help us, please. The same day the bodies of the slain Americans return now to Andrews Air Force Base, Hillary Clinton, who is in this right with him, with Obama in attendance at the transfer of the remains ceremony, she stands there and again blames the YouTube video.
We've seen rage and violence directed at American embassies over an awful internet video that we had nothing to do with.
She is saying this 2 days later as they're bringing the bodies of the dead that were killed, who the president said were killed because of the video. She is now saying on September 14th that we've seen this and it's awful and we had nothing to do with it. But yet the State Department announced last night the State Department never believed the video thing. September 16th, UN Ambassador Susan Rice, she appears on Sunday talk shows, and she says the attacks were provoked by the video exclusively. But the Libyan president on the same day says this.
The way these perpetrators acted and moved, I think they're choosing the specific date for this so-called demonstration. I think this leaves us with no doubt that this is pre-planned, predetermined.
Okay. All right, there he is. Now, the next day, the State Department spokeswoman, Victoria Nuland, she refuses to call this an act of terror. Then the 19th, CNN reports that they were over there. They found Ambassador Stevens' diary right there in Benghazi. They went over, they sent a team to investigate, get some pictures, and they found a diary which indicates concern about security threats in Benghazi, and it begins to unravel. The director of the National Counterterrorism Center tells Congress that the attack in Libya now finally was terrorism. And on September 20th, eyewitnesses tell CBS News there was no protest outside the consulate.
Witnesses tell CBS News that there was never an anti-American protest outside of the consulate. Instead, they say it came under planned attack.
Okay, so now Jay Carney the next day says it's self-evident that what happened in Benghazi was a terrorist attack. Wait a minute, it wasn't self-evident on day one. And it's not self-evident to Obama because he continues to blame the video.
What we do know is that the natural protests that arose because of the outrage over the video were used as an excuse by extremists.
At this point, this man knows there were no protests. Either that or no one talks to the President of the United States. The State Department, the intel community, none of them have said it's the video. But he continues to choose this bogus storyline for some reason. On September 21st, Hillary Clinton finally calls it a terrorist attack.
What happened in Benghazi was a terrorist attack, and we will not
But while
rest
she's saying this,
until
Obama continues to lie. September 25th, first on The View.
Still doing an investigation. There's no doubt that the kind of weapons that were used, the ongoing assault, that it wasn't just a mob action.
It wasn't at all a mob action. And the State Department knew it that night. Then, the same day, in front of the whole world at the UN, he says this.
And that is what we saw play out in the last 2 weeks. As a crude and disgusting video sparked outrage throughout the Muslim world.
September 26th. Published reports show the U.S. intelligence agency and the Obama administration knew within 24 hours that al-Qaeda-affiliated terrorists were involved. September 27th. The Innocence of Muslim filmmaker is then arrested and denied bail on charges of probation violation. Really, Zig Heil. September 28th, the Director of National Intelligence, James Clapper, issues a statement backing the Obama administration's changing story about the Libyan attack. He says the facts are evolving. No, sir, the facts do not evolve. Only bogus stories and lies evolve. There was never any protest. The State Department never linked the video to the attack. Nothing the administration has told you comes anywhere near to the truth. Why? And by the way, that investigation to find the killers, because we will not sleep, we will not rest, to find the killers that carried out the attack, well, the FBI, you'll be happy to know, was finally permitted to investigate the crime scene long after the camera crews were gone. Last week. How long were they on the ground? 3 hours. Well, we should have that answer on what really happened now at the end of day, right? Now that the truth is coming to light, the rats are hiding. Hillary Clinton, nowhere to be found. Obama will only do interviews with Entertainment Tonight in the Pimp with the Limp radio show. Why do you think the campaign is focusing on Big Bird? Because it's their only option. It's their best option. Somebody needs to ask these questions. 1, why wasn't the president attending his presidential daily briefings? Why were they not aware of the increased violence? Why did they deny repeated requests for extra security? Why were Ambassador Stevens and others in Libya when the British Embassy and the Red Cross were smart enough to leave? Why did the president, who knew Libya, the attack, within 90 minutes after it began, knowing our embassy and our ambassador, the guy he personally assigned to that post, was under violent siege and they didn't know where he was, they didn't know what was going on, why did he just go to bed that night? Why did it take weeks for the FBI to investigate the crime scene? And then when they were there, why were they only allowed to be on the ground for 3 hours before packing it up and heading home? Really important question. Whose idea was it to make up a story about a YouTube video and a protest gone bad? Where'd you ever get that idea? My theory, and it is just this, a theory, Stevens was our broker tasked with arming the Libyan rebels that Obama he vowed to help win the revolution in Libya. And he needed to get those weapons back, and the deal went bad. I don't know if that's true, but something's not right. This is a massive, massive institutional cover-up. This is bigger than Watergate, gang. There's another question. Were the weapons that were used in this attack, were any of them our weapons? I don't know, but gosh, I'd sure like to hear. I haven't heard anybody even ask that question. I don't know what this ends up being in the end, but something is very, very wrong here. The administration is clearly lying to you. And when they lie, it's to cover something up. So what is it they're hiding? Maybe just massive incompetence. But you have been lied to in a massive and coordinated fashion. America's security has been weakened. Are we less safe than we were 4 years ago? Oh, you bet. The administration is using this crisis also to further a Muslim Brotherhood talking point. Don't slander Allah. That's what I find interesting. His first instinct is to go to the Muslim Brotherhood's project. Wow, what a coincidence. Another thing you need to learn from this, the Muslim Brotherhood is evil. And we're in bed with them. We are showing up with the Muslim Brotherhood at the White House, at the State Department, in Homeland Security. They're in our Pentagon and our Department of Justice, and they are treated as friends. They are not. And the other thing that you have to get from this, our enemies have been emboldened.